Former U.S. Anglo-American advisor and senior fellow of the Bow Group think tank Lee Cohen told Express.co.uk that the American press allowed Prince Harry and Meghan an easy ride following their Oprah Winfrey interview as they were less exposed to royal protocol and rules than the British press. Mr. Cohen explained U.S. publishers were more indulgent towards the Sussexes, with their only criticisms originating from social media and political commentators. He added, however, a storm of criticism was leveled against them following Prince Harry's comments on the First Amendment, something American audiences are subsequently more familiar with instead of royal protocol. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Mr. Cohen was asked if Harry and Meghan were being treated well by the U.S. press and whether they were more or less critical of them following their departure from the royal family. Mr. Cohen explained, "I think that the American press is far more indulgent of the Sussexes than the British press. This is probably because the British press is more able, because they live under a system of monarchy, to readily see through the inconsistencies of the Sussexes. For instance, I think most Americans probably listened to the Oprah interview without much discretion. They were completely willing to believe Meghan on all fronts and certain things like the issue of having security and the titles for her children, which the British press and British people would understand. Americans listen to them on restrained fashion and are willing to believe everything that Meghan and Harry related in that interview. But, then you have Harry's fumble because I do believe it was an error on the First Amendment wading into those waters a few weeks ago. And this unleashed a storm of criticism that hadn't been seen as criticism was mainly from media commentators, elected officials, and on social media." Mr. Cohen also told Express.co.uk it was likely to see Harry and Meghan reinvent themselves in the future as he does not believe the American audience will have an appetite for them much longer. He added this was common to see in a celebrity culture where famous people reinvent their image to remain relevant and fresh over a long period of time. The think tank boss said it would not be out of place for Harry and Meghan to go through the same thing or at least be told to do so. Mr. Cohen also addressed demands that Harry and Meghan should be stripped of their titles, with some critics stating they would be lost without them. He said it was far too late for that to happen as the royal couple have already capitalized on the titles. He told Express.co.uk, "I think that the Sussexes have already derived much of the PR value from their original status as a royal couple. Now, while those titles have not been officially removed, they have been rightfully encouraged by the palace not to use them. But for Hollywood fame and for talk show purposes, the horse is already out of the stable. America already recognizes Meghan as the American princess and she always will be, notwithstanding if her title is taken away. Even if those titles are someday removed, in America, they don't hold any official status anyway. Their only value is promotional and, deserved or not, that has already been achieved."